Jets select Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner is a New York Jet!
Swaggy Sauce Gardner.
I love Sauce. I love his tape. I love his press technique. I love his confidence. He has everything you want to see in the position. And I think Robert Saleh and this scheme is perfect. It's a hand-in-glove fit for him, man.
Garrett Wilson.
It's Garrett Wilson! The New York Jets have just got two big-time playmakers!
I believe that Garrett Wilson is going to be the most impactful rookie receiver in this class. And I think we see Zach Wilson play like he did the last 6 games of the year, times 10, and have a phenomenal second season.
Wow, you think? Yeah! Let's Jermaine Johnson!
Brees Hall, running back, Iowa State.
Brees Hall, oh my God, they got him! They went offense. They went with the best running back in the draft. Jeremy Ruckert, oh my God! The Long Island native is a New York Jet! J-E-T-S, Jet! Let's go!
Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. And unfortunately, we're not celebrating Victory Monday today, but we will be breaking down the Jets and the Vikings game yesterday in detail. And I also think it's time to make a new intro because that intro is a little outdated. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, but I'm definitely going to have to make that part of the list of what to do for myself in terms of work. But, you know, yesterday, what are we, 24 hours from, 36 minutes into the game? It still stinks. I mean, I keep reliving all those plays at the goal line, and it's so infuriating that the Jets were unable to win that game. But the good news is, around the Jets, everybody lost who we wanted to, besides the Bengals. Miami Dolphins lose. LA Chargers lose, and we all know the Patriots lost on Thursday. So the Jets stay in the playoffs. They are the 7th seed in the AFC, and that's a big thing because we are heading into the rest of the season, and the Jets currently still have a playoff spot. And now we have a big opportunity to pull off another upset against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, which obviously is not going to be an easy task. But in this one, we're going to focus on the Minnesota Vikings. We're also going to get into you guys where you can come on the show and give your overall thoughts and your takeaways from yesterday's performance from the New York Jets. What was your big-time, take on Mike White, the offense around him, Mike LaFleur, the defense? Really am interested to hear what you guys are going to have to say to me because I feel like it's going to be a mixed bag of tricks. Listen, man, my overall take is it stings. It is a really, really tough way to lose, and there's no moral victories at this point of the season when you're in a playoff race. But at the end of the day, man, this Jets team proved that they can compete with anybody. They went toe-to-toe. They showed that they can make the halftime adjustments. And, they went out there and they played really good football in that second half. But what this game shows us is that we have a big issue on our hands in terms of capitalizing in the red zone. We didn't deserve to win that game based on our performance in the red zone. You cannot go in the red zone 6 times and get a touchdown only once and get 5 other field goals. It's just not acceptable. That's not a winning formula, and we need to make sure that this Jets team has to capitalize on that. So there's no moral victories whatsoever. So this loss has no positive implications, and my biggest issue is there's so many crazy offensive plays that happened in that game yesterday that we can't even celebrate because of the loss. We can't celebrate it. Poppy with the $2 donation says Von Miller is on IR. Yes, he is. He'll be out next week versus the Jets. That is definitely going to help out the Jets for sure. Appreciate the $2, my friend. Euphoria with the $5 super chat. What's good, my man? Appreciate you. Richie, I wish I can get on today, but defense will keep us in every game. Offense just needs to find its identity with Mike White, especially on the road. Hell yeah, man. The defense really held it down. They weren't perfect by any means necessary, giving up 27 points. But I feel like they held their ground in that second half. And they gave this offense an opportunity to win the game. And unfortunately, they cannot come through and score at the goal line. It's really simple. But I appreciate the $5, my man. Really goes a long way for the channel, my man. Really, really does. Appreciate that. Guys, if you did not already, hit that thumbs up button on your way into the show. I appreciate all you guys helping out the channel. We are so close from hitting 15K. 15K is right around the corner. So the positives, individually speaking, yesterday were Garrett Wilson, who was definitely a superstar. Bam Knight, who was playing like out of his mind as an undrafted rookie. His first 2 games of his career, he has over 100 yards from the line of scrimmage both times. Mike White in the fourth quarter was sensational. I mean, he wasn't perfect, right? Because you want him to get in the end zone. But those clutch throws that he made were just unreal. I mean, that throw to Corey Davis on 4th and 10, that was one of the best throws I've seen from a Jets quarterback given the situation in a long, long time. I mean, that 4th and 10 play I'm talking about. Let's go back to 3rd and 10, but the play before, all-out blitz, Mike White gets crunched. He's on the floor in pain. He got hit hard. He gets back up and fires a literal dart. Perfect spiral in between 2 defenders. Corey Davis catches it and gets us into the red zone, and that extends the Jets' opportunity to win. And obviously, we don't win the game, but that throw really showed me a lot of Mike White, and that wasn't his only good throw. That wasn't his only good throw, man. He had a lot of tight window opportunities, and I think yesterday proved that Mike White is not just a game manager. He's a lot better than just being a guy that can manage an offense. He showed that he can elevate people around him. He shows that he can make tight window throws. He has a bullet. He has a cannon, right? And when I say a cannon, I just mean he can really squeeze it in there with velocity. And I'm really excited to get into the film breakdown tomorrow because I was so impressed with Mike White, man. The first half definitely wasn't perfect. It was a little sketchy on both sides of the ball, but the big-time throws that he made. And listen, Mike White wasn't perfect by any means. He missed Garrett Wilson on a potential 80-plus yard touchdown down the sideline, and he had some throws he'd want back for sure. But the big-time throws he made in the clutch really, really impressed me. And I am really unbelievably shocked that he was able to do that. The tight window throw to Garrett Wilson on the sideline. The tight window throw to Garrett Wilson over the middle where Garrett Wilson went down the field to the 15-yard line. That 4th and 10 dart over the middle. I mean, that's not just like luck. That's not just like fluke stuff. I mean, he showed a big-time arm in the fourth quarter. Really, really crazy stuff. And I'm really excited to see the film tomorrow. Youth Warrior with another $5 says, also, Corey Davis should have got the last catch. Corey Davis is clutch AF. Yes, he is, man. Yes, he is. Corey Davis came out there. 2, or I think 3 big-time clutch performances from Corey Davis. Had a really tough start to the game in the first quarter. And then Corey Davis on 2nd and 10 gets a big-time catch. And then on 4th and 10, the biggest catch, the biggest throw of the day. I mean, I have to bring up the throw real quick because I'm still blown away by it. I really am. I mean, I've never seen a throw like this from a Jets quarterback in my life. To be honest with you guys, I don't know if that's an overreaction, but name me a quarterback that's made a throw like this in a situation on 4th down. And look at the spiral on this, bro. The Jets blessed us with this angle. Here we go. Hold on. All right, here it is. This is the 4th and 10 throw that I'm talking about. Look at this, bro. Look at this spiral on this, boy. I mean, that is not I mean, his drop back lets it rip. And look at that spiral, bro. On 4th and 10, squeezed it in there, bro. And Corey Davis bringing it in. Too bad he couldn't get in the end zone. But that is something that I will be remembering for a long time. And we're all hopeful that he can, continue that and bounce back because he's going to have his best game of his life against the Buffalo Bills, man. And if you watch that throw and you're not impressed, I don't know what to tell you. 369 yards. Oh, my God. Really insane stuff. So I'm really excited to break down this game with you guys from start to finish. The first half, the second half, who played well, who did not play well, what needs to change, what needs to improve, the playoff implications. We're going to get into all that in today's video. But before we do that, guys, please do me a favor and simply hit that thumbs up button. Really does help out the channel a ton. And now we're also going to get into the sponsor of the Monday shows, which is Mojo. Mojo, as you guys know, is a sports stock market that's available now. If you simply scan the QR code on the screen or click the link down below in the description and sign up for Mojo today, it really would help out the channel a ton if you guys can simply do that for your boy. Mike White and Garrett Wilson are both trending up. Now, I told you guys last week to invest in these two players, and if you did, congratulations. You are up a lot of money. If you didn't listen to me, that's on you, I guess. Because Mike White is up to $4.19. He's up 7.73% from last week. He's up 30 cents. And I think he's going to continue to rise as much as Mike White is going to be playing for this Jets for the rest of the season. In my opinion, he's going to continue to rise. And Mike White is a bargain right now at only $4. And Garrett Wilson, his price continues to rise. He is a star. He is a rookie, and he is lighting it up like a number one receiver that the Jets have been waiting for a long, long time. Garrett Wilson, bro, he has been so impressive to me, man. I mean, for a rookie to do what he did last game against the Vikings, that catch where he brings a 60-yard catch and run, the toe tap on the sideline was just unreal. His twitchiness and his ability to get separation and man coverage with ease. I mean, hey, Garrett Wilson outperformed Justin Jefferson. That tells you a lot. They went head-to-head, and Garrett Wilson had the better game. Jefferson got in the end zone, but Garrett Wilson had more catches and way more yards. So Garrett Wilson is a dog, and Garrett Wilson is going to continue to rise on the Mojo market. So you definitely want to get in on him now before his stock continues to rise even more. Elijah Moore went down on the market because he wasn't really involved in the game plan. He didn't really get a lot of action. He had a couple targets. He had a cool jet sweep for a first down. But there were some times where Elijah Moore was open and Mike White did not simply get him the ball. So Elijah Moore is trending down a little bit on the market. Corey Davis is trending up. He had clutch plays. I mean, that's why he's trending up, bro. I mean, after his terrible first quarter, having, the drop that really caused the Mike White interception and then having two boneheaded penalties, Corey Davis shook it off and came in where we needed them the most. And that's been the story of Corey Davis all season long. He has a couple of bad plays where you're really head scratching, but then he comes through in the clutch when we need him to the most. So that's a big time shout out to Corey Davis. And then the two tight ends, Conklin had a bad game, man. Tyler Conklin in his homecoming had a really bad game, had a couple of drops, and simply cannot get it going for the Jets. And that was the story of that first half. The Jets receivers were not helping out Mike White, dropping easy passes, and it was just a really nightmare. But CJ Uzomah had one of the most impressive catches of the day yesterday. That over-the-shoulder catch was not an easy catch to make for a tight end like CJ Uzomah. So he's trending up as well. It's cool that we do have two tight ends, so it's not like we're relying on one of these guys to be the focal point. If Conklin's not having his day, we do have CJ Uzomah, and I feel like we have two veteran tight ends that are very reliable, but the consistency is not there yet. So let's hope that they can really bounce back and have a good game against the Buffalo Bills. So again, guys, if you can simply do me a favor, click the link down below in the description or scan the QR code right now on the screen today to download Mojo. It really would help out the channel a ton, guys. I know you guys really are big supporters of the channel, and it would mean a lot to me if you can simply click the link down below in the description right now and download Mojo and sign up today. And let's see you guys make some money, because if you invested in Mike White and Garrett Wilson, you're up a big margin right about now. So again, guys, if you want to download the app, that would mean a ton. We got more donations to get into. Appreciate that. Being Truly says, I knew Mike White was our next franchise quarterback when we beat the Super Bowl Bengals. Love this channel, man. I think I could get a Sauce jersey. Hey, you can get the Sauce jersey. That is definitely a safe jersey to get. I appreciate the $5, my friend. And you were all over Mike White even after the game last year. I love that. I mean, he showed a lot of poise in that game. And Mike White is showing that he can really, will this team back. The team fights for him. The team really believes in Mike White. And I was very impressed with his performance in the fourth quarter yesterday. Really, really was. And I appreciate the love of the channel, my man. Really, really do. Poppy with the $10 super chat. Thank you, my man. This Sunday is for the division, because if you look at the New York Times playoff odds, if we win our next 5, we have a 60% chance of winning the division. I mean, yeah, right now we're in the 7th seed. We're 2 games behind the Buffalo Bills. And if we beat the Buffalo Bills, then yeah, we can talk about winning the division. But that's going to be a tough sled because you know that the Bills want blood after we beat them. So it's not going to be an easy battle. We have all week to talk about the Bills game, but I don't know. All I'll say is if Zach Wilson can beat the Bills, I think Mike White can. Because in that game, all Zach Wilson did, which he did a great job in that game, by the way, he was smart with the football, had 152 yards and no interceptions and no turnovers. So that's all we need from Mike White against the Bills is be smart with the ball, protect the ball, move the field, and let's get some touchdowns. And yeah, New York Times, I know what you meant, my man. So I appreciate the donations to everybody. So let's get into the game. Let's get into Mike White because I feel like there's a lot of people that have mixed opinions on his performance. So Mike White's stats are kind of skewed a little bit because if you look at the box score, what was he? 31 of 57, 369 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Now, if you break down the 2 interceptions, the first one wasn't his fault at all. Threw it to Corey Davis. Corey Davis drops it, tip drill, interception. And then the second one, which was his final throw of the game, 4th and 10, forced it into double coverage, interception. I mean, he has to force it in there, but definitely wish he did not throw an interception. He won the freaking game for us. But listen, I'm very impressed with Mike White because what we need right now is a quarterback that can be able to come out there and have a clutch ability. And I didn't know if he had that in him. You know, we were all talking about Mike White heading into this game as a game manager that knows how to, run the offense, knows how to run an operation properly, gets the people involved, can actually score touchdowns through the air. And then he goes up against a good team in the Minnesota Vikings. And I just saw a lot of big-time throws that really wowed you. And that's those style of throws that you need to be able to make if you're a playoff caliber team. Now, was he perfect? Right? No, he wasn't perfect. He didn't blow us away to the point where he won us the game. There were opportunities where Mike White could have had, a perfect outing out there, but he simply couldn't come through in those situations. But you cannot forget about the big-time throws that he made. Now, when it comes to, Braxton Berrios' dropped touchdown, if Braxton Berrios just simply catches that football, we're having a completely conversation right now about Mike White. Completely different. Because say hypothetically, Berrios catches that ball and the defense stops the Vikings and the Jets win. We're talking about that game from Mike White. It has a historic comeback, and Mike White is like, I bet you everyone would already be crowning him as the savior of this team and the franchise quarterback if simply Braxton Berrios caught that ball on 4th and goal. But he didn't catch that ball on 4th and goal. And then the Jets get a chance to stop them on defense, which they do, and it gives Mike White another chance, and Mike White delivers, gets them into an opportunity inside the 20-yard line, and then he does not come through. So it's unfortunate that Berrios cannot catch that ball, but if you want to just think of it in a play-calling manner, Mike LaFleur, he needs to absolutely change his entire outlook of this red zone. I cannot stand that he was trying to play to run the clock out. That's what it felt like to me. It's 1st and goal at the 5-yard line, and a touchdown takes the lead. Don't be conservative and be like, okay, let's just run this clock down. Let's force the Vikings to use all their timeouts so they have no time when then we get a touchdown. No, you get a freaking touchdown. You rely on your defense. 1st and goal. I'm pretty sure it was a handoff to Bam Knight. He gets us all the way to the 1. And then it's 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. And then I think the next play was a handoff to Bam Knight again, and he didn't go anywhere. 3rd and goal, a fade route to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson gets tripped up, doesn't even get off his break, incomplete. And then 4th and goal is to pass to Braxton Berrios for an incompletion. So really frustrating. I mean, I would be a little more, creative there, but it's gonna haunt me for a while, man. It's gonna haunt me. If Mike White hit a wide open Garrett Wilson on the go route, we also win. Stop the BB hate. Who's BB? Braxton Berrios. Absolutely. Listen, there's a lot of opportunities, but that throw I mentioned, Mike White definitely had some throws he'd like back. And, it's not all on Braxton Berrios for sure. Like there was a lot of opportunities for the Jets to score touchdowns outside of that one play. And I'm not hating on Braxton Berrios. Those plays happen. But, if Mike White hits Garrett Wilson on that throw, first of all, it's not guaranteed it's a touchdown. There was a safety. But we do know Garrett Wilson, that he can make people miss in the open field. And It could have been an 86-yard touchdown, but it also could have just been a big play, and the Jets would have been in the red zone like they were all the time. So yes, there's a lot of plays that you can break down and say, oh, what if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? Right? And unfortunately, Mike White simply couldn't get him. But I'm pretty happy, and it's sad to say this because it's like we have such a low bar. But Mike White actually saw that, and he saw Garrett Wilson, and he threw him the ball. You know, like what Zach Wilson struggled with, and you guys know my stance on Zach. I'm not throwing any shade at him. I'm not hating on him. But what Zach Wilson struggled with was finding the open man, because he would feel the pocket collapsing and he wouldn't trust himself, and he would just start scrambling around and not step up and throw the ball down the field. So that's why I feel like Mike White is the best chance right now for this Jets team to win. But and I also want to say this, all my evaluation on Mike White right now, it has nothing to do with Zach Wilson, right? Like every positive and negative thing I say Mike White, I'm not like Zach Wilson has nothing to do with this right now. I don't know if Zach gets an opportunity to play this season unless Mike White gets hurt, or if the Jets are just like, we're going to give Mike White 3 games no matter what happens, and we trust Zach Wilson to come out there and play with this team. I have no idea what the Jets are going to do on that front. But you're right, Broward. That was a play that we definitely wish that Mike White could have hit. It does. So it really, really is unfortunate, man. But let's get into some other great individual performances. Zonovan Bam Knight. Now, I don't want you guys to think I'm getting a little over myself, but he does remind me of Breece Hall. He's not at the level of Breece Hall at all, talent-wise and production-wise, but Bam Knight has that element to his game where he's a one cut, you get open field, he's gone. And in 2 games, Zonovan Bam Knight has over 100-plus yards at the line of scrimmage. And it's pretty cool that we have a guy that we didn't even draft out of the, undrafted free agency pool that's playing this well. Michael Carter gets injured. Breece Hall's done for the year. And we still have a running back that we're excited about. So the trade for James Robinson right now feels like more insurance than anything. Ty Johnson, he's just part of the rotation. But Bam Knight, he's going to be the guy for the rest of the season, splitting with Carter, no doubt. When Carter's healthy, it's going to be Carter and Knight. Sorry, James Robinson, but he simply looks like a step slow. He doesn't really have that element. But at the same time, I do like James Robinson at the goal line. He's more of that guy that you give the ball at the goal line, put your shoulder down, and go get that touchdown. So I wish we could have gave him an opportunity there. But I'm very impressed with Bam Knight. I think that he is a running back that's going to – listen, I know we're into this season, but think about the running back room next year for a sec. We're going to have Breece Hall returning, Michael Carter, and Bam Knight as the 3 running backs that are all young and all cheap. There he is, as we're talking about him. Zonovan Bam Knight is a dog. Absolutely a sensational pickup from Joe Douglas in the undrafted free agent wire. Now, let's flip over to the defense. The defense got worked in the first half, but the second half, they came through. They started getting sacks. Quinnen Williams gets his 9th sack of the season, which is a career high for him. He leads the Jets. Quinnen Williams dislocates his shoulder, pops it back in, gets it back onto the field. And Quinnen Williams is a dog. The defensive line had a really good game in that second half, man. Quan Alexander with a big play late in the fourth quarter to give the Jets that last opportunity. DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner and Michael Carter II against Justin Jefferson. Jefferson, he got in the end zone. He didn't really beat us deep that much. We allowed the underneath stuff from Jefferson. It wasn't a perfect day from the defense, that's for sure. It wasn't their best outing. I would have liked to see a turnover. We did not force 1 turnover on defense. I feel like that would have helped us out. But that did not happen. But the defense simply gave the Jets a chance to win the game in the second half. And that's really all I can ask for. Going into half losing 20-6, they only gave up 7 points in that second half. And that gave this Jets team an opportunity to win, and the offense failed. The offense went out there, but then you can say, well, Richie, if the defense was better in the first half, we would have had a better chance of winning. Yeah, I understand that. But the defense going up against a 9-2 Minnesota Vikings team at home in their home stadium with their crowd, with Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, it's going to be hard to stop those dogs, I'm telling you. So, the defense wasn't perfect, but they did their job in that fourth quarter and in that second half in total. So now the big question is, what are the adjustments that needs to be made heading into the Buffalo Bills game? Well, it's simple. Score freaking touchdowns and play better in the first half. And the defense is going to be the X factor in that Bills game, because if we can contain Josh Allen like we did in that first game against them in MetLife Stadium and force him into errant throws and throw interceptions, that's how we're going to win. We're not going to beat the Bills without playing good defense at all, because the Bills are that talented on offense. So, and also, we versed the Bills team at the time that we were out Matt Milano, without Trey White, and without Poyer. Now, those three fellows will be playing. Now, Von Miller will be out. I know that. But their defense is going to be a lot different, especially in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. It could potentially be windy. So we're going to need to run the ball with Bam Knight. We're going to need Mike White to make big-time throws. And I think that game's going to be on our defense. So I know the big negative talking point of yesterday's game is Mike LaFleur, and I hear it. Mike LaFleur deserves criticism. Mike LaFleur deserves the blame, because when you're in the red zone 6 times and you score a touchdown once, barely, by the way, and we didn't even get to mention Greg Zuerlein. I mean, Greg Zuerlein set a franchise record 60 yards, and he was 5 for 5. I mean, that is just excellent stuff. If he missed a couple of those, we would have been doomed. So shout out to Greg Zuerlein. But at the end of the day, I don't want to see Greg Zuerlein kicking 5 field goals. I want to see touchdowns. We're not going to be a winning football team with that formula. So it's up to Mike LaFleur to be more creative in the red zone and understand that you just got to do the fundamental stuff. And they got to execute as well. The players got to execute. As bad as Mike LaFleur was, you do like to see the players execute a little more. Like on that goal line at the 1 yard line, and you can say it's a predictable play call, but I also feel like the Jets offense should be able to score from the 1 yard line from a handoff up the middle, man. You should be able to do that. So the New York Jets have to make their adjustments, because this is the crunch time, man. They're 7-5. They have a great opportunity here to make the playoffs. They're in the 7th seed. If the playoffs ended today, we would be in Kansas City, which would definitely be an interesting one. But that's really what it comes down to, man. That's my overall breakdown. A lot of things to look out for. Garrett Wilson is a superstar. Bam Knight looks like a stud. Mike White impressed me a lot in that fourth quarter in the clutch. Corey Davis clutch. CJ Uzama had a clutch grab. But unfortunately for the Jets, they were unable to pull off that win, which felt like it was right there to take. The Minnesota Vikings were giving us that game. We came all the way back, and it felt like one of those games where we could have won. We could have been 8-4 and had a big cushion in that playoff race. But now it's going to be a tight matchup. Poppy said, this is a team loss, Richie. You can sit there, tell everything the Jets could have done. It's everything could be done better. Yeah, this is a team loss. People can blame LaFleur. You can also blame a lot of other aspects of that game. Listen, they all held themselves accountable. Mike White held himself accountable. He said he could have put a better ball on Braxton Berrios. Berrios said he should have caught it no matter what. Saleh said he has to do a better job. LaFleur, I'm sure, is going to say he's going to have to do a better job, which is a fact. So I appreciate the $5, my man. But the good news is the AFC around the Jets all lost besides the Bengals. Chargers lost, Patriots lost, and the Dolphins lost. So that's all big for the Jets in terms of the playoff race. So now we're going to open this up to a Jets Q&A. But before we do that, guys, please hit that like button if you did not already. We only have 41 likes with over 100 of you guys watching. So please hit that thumbs up button, guys, right now. Really does help out the channel. And also, we are inching close to 15K subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button to help me out to get the 15K. That will be an awesome milestone. Awesome milestone. So now we're going to open this up to a call-in. So click the link at the top of the chat. And let's call in. Let's all voice our opinions so we can all be upset together. This game yesterday stings, man. Still hurts. So, again, guys, if you want to join in, give me your thoughts about the game yesterday. Click the link at the top of the chat. The Jets are 7-5, and we got a big-time game coming up against the Buffalo Bills. Mike effing White. And also, the reason why I'm a little late in terms of the stream today is because I was editing this morning my compilation of my reaction to all the good and the bad plays from the game yesterday from my live reaction. So check that video out so you can see my live reaction to the entire game if you did not already. All right, guys, so we have people lined up already. So if you want to join in, give your overall thoughts of the game, click a link at the top of the chat. Let's get it going, baby. Charles, what's up, my friend?
Hello, Richie. How are you? Outside of the Jet game, how was your weekend?
The weekend was good. Had a very, very good Saturday with my
I
friends.
also want to give out my condolences for your Mets losing out on Jacob deGrom to the Texas Rangers.
Yes, but we did get Verlander just today, so I am
Are
very
you fucking
excited.
serious?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No!
That happened this morning.
My favorite pitcher is now a New York Met. That's great.
There we go, Verlander. Oh,
That's
I know.
amazing.
DeGrom's...
Anyway, I saw Black Panther Wakanda Forever this past Saturday.
Here we go. I didn't get to see that yet.
It's a great movie. Ignore the naysayers. It's a great movie.
Sounds good.
Anyway,
So what was your thoughts about the
my thoughts
game?
on the game is pretty much simple. First half was rough. Second half, I'm not gonna lie, I was a nervous wreck. But man, let me tell you, we got a bunch of dogs from this draft class. I mean, even though we didn't draft him, Zonovan Knight is a stud. Garrett Wilson is a superstar in the making. Why did we swap out Max Mitchell for George Fant? Like, was he playing bad or something?
Yeah, he was getting beat a little bit, and I guess they went to George Fant, and George Fant had a bad penalty, but outside of that penalty, he looked really good, which is a good sign.
Well, I've always liked George Fant, but I think we can all agree he's better off as a left tackle than a right tackle, but he can play both.
Yeah, exactly.
Corey Davis made some nice catches, and I'm going to say this to all the Mike White haters. Mike White, to me, is still a damn good quarterback, as far as I'm concerned. To me, he showed me something that, that hit he took against Daniil Hunter, who's a really good pass rusher. Like, obviously, he was in pain for a bit, but he showed toughness, man. It's not easy to play football in the NFL. Going against, 300-plus pound, 290-plus pound guys that can kill you. That can run like a gazelle and kill you.
That was the most impressive throw I've seen from a Jets quarterback in a long time, especially the play after that on 4th and 10, bro. I mean,
that was great. That was crazy. But let's talk about that. I thought Garrett Wilson took it to the house, but he stepped out of bounds and the refs caught it. But Garrett Wilson, I mean, he beat Patrick Peterson. Now, obviously, Patrick Peterson's not the same player he was in his prime, but he's still a good player. He still knows how to play cornerback. I think he has at least 3 to 4 interceptions this year. And the guy can still play. I mean, you can argue he may be a future Hall of Famer, but Patrick Peterson, I mean, against a highly experienced, highly successful corner in Patrick Peterson is no easy task, and Garrett Wilson made it look easy. Plus, Zonovan Knight looked great. I think I said that already. I'm so glad Quentin Williams got his 9th sack of the season yesterday.
He's a beast, man.
Later on in the game, he dislocated his shoulder and he popped it right back into place like a champ.
He's something special, man. Quentin Williams deserves the bag, and I hope we pay him. And listen, man, you hit.
We better
hit on
pay
all
his
the
ass
points.
because to me, he's the best defensive tackle in the league right now.
He's playing like it, and obviously, there's a lot of positives to take away from that game. But all in all, we lost, which stings. But Charles,
it sucks.
it really does. I really do appreciate
Barrios. I
I
thought he caught that shit, but I'm like, oh, Barrios.
Oh my God, I know. I love Barrios, but
I do. I don't know why Jet fans are hating on him. Just all of a sudden he drops the ball, and I was like, "Fuck you, Barrios. You suck. Go back to Kellogg's or something." No,
yeah, that's a passionate fan base for you. Well, Charles, I appreciate the call in. We're gonna get into the next one, and let's go Jets as always. And we appreciate the support on Jets Media, my man.
No problem. Have a good day, Richie.
You too, my man. All right, guys, if you want to join in the show to get your thoughts of the game, again, click the link at the top of the chat. Papi, what's up, my man?
Hey, man, can you hear me? It's a little windy out here. All right. So my biggest thing is the Jets have to beat the Bills to stay in the divisional round for us. And the reason why I say that is because the Lions and the Jaguars we have to beat no matter what, because those two teams are beatable. They're the most beatable on our schedule. The
Yes.
Bills and the Dolphins. If we win those 2 games, we have like so much more chances. And I just think it like this: if we win, we win. We lose against the Bills. But we have to beat those 2 teams. So
The
no matter
Lions and the
what,
Jaguars.
yes, those
Yeah.
are must wins.
Absolutely.
Must.
At this
If we
point in the
lose
season,
one,
they're must win.
yeah, or we're out of the playoffs. That's how I see it. If you lose both or lose one, you're out.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, the Detroit Lions are kind of looking pretty good. They just beat up on the Jaguars, which is the other team we're going to have to beat verse on prime time. But the Lions are not going to be a tough out. Both games will be at MetLife. One of them will be on prime time on Thursday night again. So you're right. This Bills game is huge. But even if we lose this game, there's still a path to make the playoffs. And it's going to be not an easy path. But, this is a big test for the Jets on Sunday against the Bills. And it's going to be a tough one, bro.
Also, the Bills have a lot of injuries right now. It looks like Von Miller, their defensive tackle's out. A lot of players are out, but Kyle Duggar's back, I think. Is it Kyle Duggar, or I can't remember his name for defense? Poyer.
Yeah, Poyer's back. He's been playing a little bit. And Trey White's back. Milano will be back, who did not play in the game we had against them. So, the Von Miller being out is going to help us out, but they also have a lot of people coming back that were not playing against us last time. So the Jets are going to have to be on their A game. And if they want to really make a statement that they are who we think they are, they're going to have to beat the Bills again. And that's a tall, tall task because we already beat them once. And I'm sure the Bills are not going to allow that to happen in their own house. So we'll see. Poppy, I do appreciate the call. I appreciate all the support of the channel. We're going to get to the next one because we do have a lot of people waiting.
Oh, no problem, man. Have a good one.
You too, my friend. Have a good rest of your day. All right, guys, let's go. I'm not sleeping on the Lions, by the way. I said they're a tough out. The Detroit Lions they're getting better and better as the season goes on. Josh, win or lose, Josh is here. Yo, I can't hear you. You're muted. Still can't hear you, Josh. Josh, still can't hear you, my man. All right, we're going to get Josh back in there when he returns.
Yo,
let's get weird.
What's up?
In Tennessee. What's good, bro?
What's up, brother? Couple things, man, and I don't know if you do agree with me or not. If we had Breece Hall and AVT, my God, every game after a Broncos game, we would. I don't see us losing any game. I mean, I think a homer. I don't know, but
no, it's a true, man. Those are two all pros you're talking about. They're not just any other players.
I think we have the deepest running back group out of anyone in the league. I'm crazy, I know, but I don't know, man. I think I put Knight, Breece, and then Carter. Man, that's just nasty. Next year,
100%.
And then another thing, man, just the injuries and how strong they are, bro. That's to see them go back out there. Michael Clemens getting carted off, and then to come back in and make that play. Dude, that's freaking wild, bro.
And Quinnen too, dislocating his shoulder, popping it back in.
When I saw that, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's a dog, bro.
And yeah, just one more thing, man. With this team, it's frustrating because like we're frustrated watching them lose, but it's not for the same reasons as like it is in the past, where you're frustrated to see them lose because they're ass. We're watching them lose now because they're so good and they just can't seem to win the games, that are needed to be won. And
that's a great point.
We'll see. We'll see next week, man. They need to just go out there and just kill the Bills. I don't think it'll happen easily by any means, but if Josh Allen has another game like he did that last game, bro.
Yeah, man, that would be great. But you bring up a great point that, this loss yesterday feels different than any other losses because usually we just suck and it's like, yep, here we go again. But this time it's like we're good. We're beating we're versing a very good team and we're a good team too, but we just could not come away with it. So it stings a little bit, but it's definitely a better feeling when you're a good team losing than a bad team losing for sure. So we appreciate you supporting the Jets over there in Tennessee, my man.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, hope you have a good rest of your day.
You too, brother. See you, man.
See you later, brother. Appreciate that.
I'm back.
There you go. I hear you loud and clear now, Josh.
Yes, sir. Man, what's up, Richie, man?
What's up, man?
Man, heartbroken man, from that loss yesterday, tough L, man.
Tough L, bro.
Oh my goodness, man.
It
It was
stings.
so.
Still feel it.
Yes, for real. And about the game, we started slow. Offense started slow. If we would have started faster, it would have been a different outcome of the game. But the second half, we picked it up. Like, I'm not gonna lie, even though we lost this game, that game really shows what the Jets can do. Like Robert Saleh said at the end of the game, like, this team does not quit, and that's the positive. That's the most positive thing you can get from this game is that message right there. Like, we got so much fight in this. Like, I really thought the game was over. When they scored 20 points and like we had 3, I thought the game was over from then. But then once Bam Knight ran that long 43, 48-yard run, I was like, okay. It's kind of reminding me of the Browns game when Corey Davis caught that touchdown. It was just like randomly out of nowhere. Like, so that was crazy. The catch that Garrett Wilson had, it was crazy. Like, oh my goodness, I wish he would have scored.
Game of inches, bro. This foot
Yeah.
was just on the white line, bro.
Yes, man. Like when they showed the replay, I was just hoping like it was just a little teeny grass in between. I was just hoping, but he stepped out. It's okay. We should have scored on that drive. Like in the last drive, Mike White did his thing, but oh my goodness, it was just so disappointing, man. So disappointing. But we gonna come back from it. We gonna definitely bounce back from this, and definitely learn from it too. And that's why I come on here and say all the Jets fans should stay humble, because you just don't know what is going to happen. Like, while I'm watching the game, the good stuff is starting to happen. I'm getting excited for a little bit, but then I'm like, okay, it's not over yet. The game is not over yet. So
that was the problem with that game. There were so many exciting moments that never led to touchdowns. It was just like, oh my God, yes. And then it's like, all right, get a touchdown, and then fail. So it's like, God damn it. It's just like how many times actually the Jets get the ball, and for the first play of that possession at the 25-yard line, Garrett Wilson gets us into the red zone. And then another possession separately, all right, first play at the 25-yard line, Bam Knight down the sideline gets us in. It's like we had 2 plays, which was the first plays of the possession that got us all the way to the red zone. They get us so hyped up, but then we fail to score a touchdown.
So
Oh, I think we lost Josh. Josh, you there?
sorry.
Oh, we lost you for a sec.
Sorry, I got a call. But yeah, man, that was so heartbreaking, man. Like, but we gonna bounce back. We got the Bills next week. We gonna bounce back. Hopefully, we win that game. I got a feeling we're gonna win that game.
Let's go.
I said if we lose against the Vikings, then we're gonna beat the Bills. If we beat the Vikings, then we're gonna lose against the Bills. That's what I was thinking. So, but hopefully,
I love the energy.
We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. All right. Appreciate you
as always.
Call, Richie. See you next time. Go Jets. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. We're gonna bounce back. I love the energy from Josh. Staying optimistic. That's what we need at these tough times, baby. Learn from the mistakes. LaFleur, learn how to score. Call up a play in the red zone, and Jets players learn how to execute in the red zone. Please, we need touchdowns. Jets unleashed.
Hey, man. How you doing, my man?
I'm all right. Could be better on this Monday that does not have the victory in front of it. How are you?
Yeah, man. Man, it sucked, man. We claw away ourselves back in that third and fourth quarter, man. We just couldn't get it done, man. You know what? GG to the Vikings, man. Good game. They just wanted it more than us. So
yeah, we had to fight our way back.
But you know what? I just don't get the Mike White hate, man, dude. That guy helped us come back, dude. This guy has made some throws. Yeah, he wasn't perfect. No QB's gonna be perfect. We all agree to that. And there's some throws that he probably wish he would have back. But you know what? He was able to move this ball on offense. It sucked that we couldn't get a touchdown. But you know what? He kept moving this ball and gave us the chance to win. He gave us the chance. Zach Wilson wouldn't have given us the chance to win. And it's kind of weird because if this was Mike White last year, he probably would throw 3 or 4 picks. This is Mike White development. He showed when there's some event when he had to go and when he's down by 2 touchdowns, he showed he's willing to be able to come back. A good QB can do that. A bad QB cannot. So all these Mike White haters that want to keep hating on him, I just don't understand, dude. This was a team loss. You could blame every player on something they did. It's just ridiculous how this is just all of a sudden Mike White's fault. Even though the drop touchdown pass by Barrios, that 1 foot out of bounds by Garrett Wilson. It just the little details from every player. It sucks, but you know what? It is what it is.
No, yeah, it is what it is. And for the people that's blaming Mike White for this loss, I just cannot get on board with that. I mean, listen, Mike White did everything he possibly could to will this team back to win. He had clutch throw after clutch throw, but at the end of the day, he could not capitalize. And yeah, people are going to point the fingers at the quarterback, but I feel like Mike White made big-time throws, and this is going to be a big learning experience from him and the team and the coaches to how to really capitalize, because the story of the game is simple, man. You got to score touchdowns in the red zone, and we're 1 for 6 in that, and you're not going to win a football game if you're not going to be able to do that. So we honestly don't deserve the win if we can't even score a freaking touchdown when we have 6 good opportunities to. So Jets Unleashed, I appreciate the energy. I appreciate the passion as always, and let's go Jets. So we'll bounce back next week, and I'll see you on the roundtable Wednesday.
I see you on the round table, man. Jet up, man. Let's go win the Bills.
Hell yeah, man. Jet up. All right. Appreciate you. Indiana Jets. You're live. What's up, man?
Ricky.
How you doing?
Hey, we should, our expectations of this year was what, 9-7. We had a very young team. This game was a great learning experience, even though it's a loss. I'm still, you couldn't be more happy with a loss than that game.
No, seriously. I mean, this is the best I've ever felt after a loss.
That's my point. Yes, exactly. No, it's exactly right. Our team, we wanted to show that we could be in every game, no matter who it was with. That was the beginning of of our expectations at the beginning of the year. And I think we've met that. And next year, you with Hall coming back, with AVT coming back, I think we can compete with any team out there next year.
I couldn't agree more. The schedule is going to be brutal next year. And I feel like that game yesterday proved that we can compete with anybody, even this season. And all the injuries we're facing, all the adversity we're facing, the quarterback change that we made, this proves that this team does not give up. And that's my biggest takeaway as well, man. They fight till the last whistle.
And we're still talking playoffs. That's the great thing.
We're in the playoffs right now as we speak.
Through all the injuries, through all the adversities, through the Zach and Mike White, through everything, we're still talking playoffs. And that's what that is more than our expectations at the beginning of the year.
And that's what I want to remind. I know expectations change, but I also want to keep reminding Jets fans that remember where we've been these past couple of years at this point of the season. Looking at the draft, looking at this, we're looking at other, the 4:00 window yesterday. It was upsetting because the Jets lost, but we're watching the Dolphins and the Chargers and all these teams and rooting for them to lose because we have actually a shot to make the playoffs. This is the first time Jets fans have felt this type of energy at this stage of the season for a playoff race in 6 years. And we didn't even make it 6 years ago. So that's a positive, man. Things are changing. And I know it stings that we lost, but I couldn't agree more with you, my man. This is a great learning experience. You got to be able to learn as a young team. That's how you improve.
Yep. All right, Richie. Appreciate you. Have a great show.
Appreciate you as always. Have a good rest of your day. Great call there from an OG. Indiana Jets. Represent the Jets over there. Caden.
What's up, Richie?
What's up, my friend? How are you doing
man,
today?
That was depressing yesterday. I was able to watch half the game and then had to leave for my youth group meeting, but was tracking the game and it's I kept seeing that we were able to stop them and we were only 5 points behind, had enough time left, and we kept getting down to the one and we blew it.
Oh man. Just following that game on Gamecast probably was torture.
For me?
Yeah,
I was just tracking it on Google.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're tracking it on your phone, right?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's just and then especially because I have plenty of Bills fans in my youth group, I had to hear it from them. So it's just that close. Really, as Garrett Wilson said yesterday, it is a game of inches, and we came out on the losing battle of that one.
And his foot was literally on the line. I mean, you can't blame Garrett Wilson at all, but at the same time, if his foot was 1 inch, a little bit more in bound, he would have had a touchdown, and that would be the difference of the game right there.
So just want to give you a couple quick thoughts on the game and then your opinion on the schedule coming up, because I'm a bit nervous about that. But
yeah, of course.
Basically, like overall, like LaFleur's play calling wasn't bad. It was just the red zone play calling. I didn't see like in regular like field like LaFleur dial up some decent plays and stuff in general. We got completions. It's just he tried to get too fancy with it down in the red zone and just didn't.
Yeah, the red zone. You're 100%, Caden. Mike LaFleur is getting the blame for this game, but people need to realize it was because of his red zone play calling. The play calling outside of that was perfect. I mean, we got in. You got to get into the red zone, and it's not easy to get there. And the fact
he
that
got us there. That's the thing.
I mean, it did. And it really was a lot of explosive plays. There wasn't really a lot of like slow drives or methodical marching on the field. There was like a lot of explosives that got there, which is the big testament to the talent that we actually have on this offense. But at the end of the day, man, 1 for 6 in the red zone. I'm sure LaFleur knows. I mean, if there's the one thing about LaFleur, I do like that he does hold himself accountable. And I'm sure he's going to be looking himself in the mirror after this one, figuring out some red zone, like a new red zone playbook or something.
Hopefully. And that's just the thing. Like Bam had a good day yesterday. You're 1 yard away. Give him the ball or at least do a try for another quarterback sneak in general. It's like the pass just seems too risky, and especially to Braxton. If that was Elijah or Garrett, okay, I get that. But to Braxton like is a cool player, but his hands always worry me a little bit because he's like a once in a while target to make a big play. You don't really want him as an every down receiver though.
Yeah. And
they featured him a lot in the red zone.
And I don't know if Braxton was the like number one read on that throw, but I thought he caught it, bro. Watching it live, I was like, touchdown, and then I see it just I was like, oh,
a shot right through your heart. Dude. You're like, oh, why?
So gut wrenching, man. I mean, I'm just happy we're in a situation where we can talk about heartbreaking losses after performing well.
Yeah,
because I keep reminding myself where this team has been.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people don't want to hear that because expectations change and we want to win, Richie. There's no moral victories, and I understand that. I'm not saying this is a moral victory, but I just remember where we came from as a Jets team.
And just quick shout out to Garrett Wilson. Had a great day yesterday. Hopefully he can keep performing well to win some Jets records and then take home Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then just overall, just want to talk about the Bills game. I'm really scared now because I feel like we've seen many times where LaFleur actually just starts to like get too fancy for some reason, tries to get too cute with it, and he shoots himself in the foot in general. And like, if you can't make that mistakes against the Buffalo team, I mean, you probably watched the Thursday night game. They beat up on New England pretty easily. And I mean, yes, overall, even though we didn't beat them, I think we're better than New England, but still, it's like you have to be able to go stride for stride with the Bills. And if you make one mistake, you're easily can be out of the game. And it's just, and also that's the thing, the defense hadn't had its best performance yesterday either. So it's like,
and that's going to be the difference of that game against the Bills is the defense. So we got to be able to contain Josh Allen, and we got a whole week to prepare for that one in terms of breaking it down on the channel. So Caden, I appreciate the call-in as always, and keep representing the Jets up there. And we're going to get to the next caller. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, my man.
Will do. Let's go give it a good week of practice, and let's give it everything we have against Buffalo. Let's show them who we are.
Let's go. Let's go show them who we are, baby. Appreciate you, Caden. Naft is in the house. What's up, brother?
How's it going?
I'm all right. Life is great outside of the Jets, I guess.
Yeah. But, I just wanted to say something short that, they talked about it on the game last night, or and that's what I think, that no one expected us this year to be at 500 by week 13. Like
above
no one
500.
Above 500. That's what I said something. No one expected us to be 7-5 right now at all. No. I thought before the season started that we were going to be 1-9 by the bye week. My own thought. That's what I thought. The fact that we're even here, it's sad yesterday. Yes, I had a feeling like we weren't gonna win. I knew it wasn't gonna be a blowout because these Jets are different. I know if we were gonna lose, it would be really, really by small difference. And Mike LaFleur, man, he's got to He's got to wake up, man. Because
yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's not Mike. Because we've seen it with Zach, we've seen it with Mike. We thought it was Zach's issue, but now same thing's happening to Mike in the red zone, and like you can't just keep blaming the quarterbacks. You can't blame the receivers. You can't blame running backs. You can't blame anyone. You got to blame Mike LaFleur, man. There's something up with that guy. He's got to wake up. He's got to take a wait, like you said before. He's got to take a good look, long stare in the mirror this week, and understand that like if he doesn't wake up, he's out of here, man. Like again, you're playing in New York. You have to win games. Like if you're not winning games in the red zone, then you got to get out of here, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's such an interesting conversation to have because it's not like the offense was terrible where we couldn't move the ball
Exactly.
and it was like we just couldn't capitalize on anything. It was 3 and outs after 3 and outs. Like we got there, we got to the end zone,
Exactly.
we got
That's
all the way
exactly.
to the red zone, and we just simply could not get the ball.
We couldn't score, and it was like so annoying that we were just like on the one or 2 or 3 yard line, and I'm like, yeah, you have 4 tries to get in. Like it's not difficult to do.
Yeah, bro,
like come on, like what's going on? Like, and that it happened like a few times, right? I don't even remember what. I'm so tired right now, but
yeah,
it happened a few times, and I'm like, come on, seriously, like
zone.
Get in, damn it.
1 for 6 in the red zone when it comes to scoring a touchdown.
Disgusting.
The other 5 were all field goals. So very unfortunate, man. Naft, I do appreciate you coming on here and
no problem.
Voicing your
and
frustration.
Hopefully we'll get to the playoffs, man. I'm really, happy that the Raiders won last night. Thank the Lord.
Oh, I know, right?
Thank the Lord.
That was big.
We need help. We need help,
did not
man.
win, we would have been screwed. We've been out of the playoffs.
I know.
So
exactly. We've been out right
Vegas.
now.
So we're rooting for the Raiders again in a couple of weeks. They're versing the Patriots. So
nice.
Let's go Raiders.
Exactly.
I don't think that's this week. I think.
And we got to beat the Bills. We have to beat the Bills. We have to beat the Bills.
We will. All right, Naft. We appreciate the call
All
as
right.
always, my friend.
We'll see you next week, Rich.
Oh yeah. See you next week. Peace out. Fresh. What's good, man?
What's going down, brother? What's going down?
Just vibing, I guess.
One of those days, man.
One of those days.
This is literally how I felt that OSU versus Michigan game. It's like one of those, like, dude, this is out of all the games we play at Ohio State, dude. I've been an Ohio State fan since I was a little kid, dude. I've watched us dominate Michigan. It's like it hurts your heart. Like, you know what you're capable of, and just being out coached. I feel like the Buckeyes got out coached, and I feel like we got out coached to a sense. We out coached ourselves. Everyone, like Mike LaFleur, like everyone's been saying it, man. I feel like he tried to do so much because that's a veteran team over there. They're all of the players, that they count on has been there for 5+ years, I'll say, So, and then the guys that, that they made, that we could pick on, like the young corners and stuff, they have suitable guys at that position that can teach those young guys like us, that like we have, like Sauce and, and DJ Reed and then CJ Mosley for the young guys. So they have guys in those positions that we thought we could take advantage of, and they were on point all night. Like, their young cornerback, dude. I don't know what Patrick Peterson was telling that young dude, but he was balling. He was everywhere. That's, the best thing for a nickel corner is experience. Just like we gave our corners experience last year, just threw them into the fight. That's the only way they're going to learn. So that's on that part. I believe they played a hell of a game, better than we expected, and that's why Mike LaFleur, I feel like he should have made a better adjustment. So another point I want to get on, I feel like we should have stayed with the run game. No matter what, we have 3 running backs. There's teams that don't even have a reliable 1 running back. We have 3 Ty Johnson. Why isn't Ty Johnson in that game at the goal line? I don't care what it is. Ty Johnson's been on this team for 2 years. He's the bigger back. Put him in the game at the goal line. It's nothing. Like, I just did not understand the play calling. It was no reason to try to even throw the ball, dude. Like, and if you're gonna throw a quick slant. Like, to me, that made no sense. So, but like I said, people don't watch much football, I don't think, because if you realize the last even 5 years, just look 5 years from before, all the good teams have this problem. They get everything else together, and then the red zone efficiency is always a problem with good teams. This is supposed to be something we're supposed to be dealing with year 3 in the, like, year 3 in the offense, figuring out the wrinkles to the offense, which is getting in the end zone. Because just like defense, you're learning how to stop people. Then the wrinkle is taking away the ball. You get what I'm saying? So that's honestly our wrinkle within the offense. You can't blame Mike LaFleur because he's been playing with incompetent quarterbacks, 3 different quarterbacks. Then you have to cater to the quarterbacks, cater to the other off. It's been a lot trying to manage the game and then manage the defense. Like, dude, that he's having dude, I'm surprised Michael LaFleur even put them in a better chance to even win that damn game. So it's like, yes, we throw shade at Michael LaFleur, but at the end of the day, we make that one play in the end zone with Braxton Berrios. He's a fucking hero.
And I agree, and there's a lot of blame going to LaFleur, and I think it's well warranted. But I also think that the players got to execute. And I think that that's something that needs to be talked about. And a lot of people are blaming LaFleur, but at the same time, when you call, a run up the middle at the goal line, at the 1 yard line, it's up to the players to be able to execute that. When you call, a simple pass to Braxton Berrios, you got to catch that ball. Like LaFleur seems like the scapegoat. He's going to be blamed, but the players also got to be able to come through with the play call. And it simply was just a mess in the red zone. And it wasn't just late in the game at the goal line. That's the issue. It was throughout the entirety of the game. We get all the way to the red zone and we failed and failed and failed. And you can blame the play calling all you want, but you also got to look at the players and the quarterback, and they got to hold themselves accountable and do better.
Exactly. And I know you got a lot of callers. Some to add on that before I say my last thing, like a good good play doesn't, like when Patrick Mahomes is doing all these insane things, they're not speaking on how the fact that Andy Reid has been a guru and been doing that for multiple quarterbacks since he's been here. So it's like when you do bad, then they'll start talking about so it's like when it's good, you will never talk about the coach being good, but when it's bad, you're going to blame the coach. So I feel like we need to be one-sided on that. Like you really need to see, like, dude, you can blame Mike LaFleur, but at the end of the day, you can't expect Mike LaFleur to be hit 100% every time on that defensive coordinator. It's literally impossible for an NFL court. You get what I'm saying? So
100%.
Execution is number one. And like I said, the last thing I don't think people are saying 11 wins is going to be the number. I think we're going to get the 10. And I don't think the Dolphins, I think they're about to fall. The Dolphins, and I think the Patriots, dude, they have like how we had last year. We had 4 primetime games within like 14 days. They have somewhat the same type of schedule. They have 4 or 5 primetime games within like 17 days or something. Dude, that is going to take a toll on them. The way they have to play when you have to play a certain way when your team is not good enough or when you're trying to reach. I don't even think they have the skill. So they're going to be drained trying to really come out with those games. And like, I don't think they have it in them, dude. Dude, look at their schedule and look at the Dolphins schedule, dude. They are playing. And the way Tua played yesterday, dude, no. I'm not that confident. We can win out. I have the odds of us winning out before any of them other teams. Guaranteed, dude.
Let's go. I love that confidence. We need that confidence, bro. Like, it stings. The loss hurts yesterday, but at the end of the day, I feel like there's a lot of positives to take away from that game yesterday. And let's hope that they can build on it and improve and upset the Bills one more time.
Exactly. And that's what I said before on the last, we spoke a couple weeks back. I was telling you guys, I said, what makes a competent quarterback? You guys said everything Zach's not doing. And then I also asked you, like, how could you fix that? We can fix these things that, that's happening right now. These are not and we could have said that about Zach too, but we can fix these during the week. You get what I'm saying? We don't need a whole off season to fix these problems, dude. These are good problems literally to have, because every good team goes through this problem. Like, you can get all the way up to the goal line, but this is actually because defenses scheme this way now. They'll literally let you take everything underneath because they know it's hard to score in the red zone. Dude, that's 8 teams in the league that plays their defense like that, based on letting you get underneath and then play a sound defense, in the red zone and give their offense back the ball, dude. So that's just how the game is.
No, 100%. And I feel like that's the next wrinkle for this offense to figure out. They're not struggling to move the ball with Mike White out there. They're just struggling to get that ball in the end zone. So let's hope that they can improve against a big-time opponent on Sunday. Fresh, the support means a lot here on the channel. You've been a great supporter of the channel for a long time, so I appreciate you, my man.
Always, Richie Rich, man. You have an amazing rest of your show, man. Hi to everyone in the chat.
Hell yeah, man. We appreciate you. Catch you next time. All right, guys, we're going to get into the next caller, who will indeed be the final caller of the show. He's been very patient. We got Jimmy from Seattle representing the helmet and the visor. What's good, Jimmy?
Yo, what's good, Richie? How you feeling, brother?
I'm all right, bro. It's nice to meet you, my man. How you doing? I love the
Oh
helmet.
yeah, man. I'm usually on the Jake Asman show, chilling with Jake and them, and just wanted to get on, see what's going on with our overreaction Monday with all the Hawks and Jets forevers out there. What's good, baby?
Oh yeah, overreaction
To get
Monday.
it,
You know it.
you already know, man. But one thing I want to point out with our fan base, we're either Zach Wilson fans or Jet fans. That's like the biggest trend I've been seeing, and it's pretty annoying. But I get it. It's football. Everybody just wants the team to win and be successful and stuff like that. But right now, if we're looking at it in plain sight, Mike White gives us the better opportunity offensively at quarterback to win games.
Right
I
now.
mean, our defense is going to show up, period. Like they've proven that every game all year long. So like everybody that's saying Zach Wilson, he's 5-2, and Mike White, he got that win last week. But at the end of the day, like our team, we're winning, man. Like we're 7-5. We're sitting in prime real estate to make the playoffs for the first time in years. So why are we battling each other in the comment sections of every Jets media? That like it's just so crazy to me.
It's very, very true, man. We have a passionate fan base that wants their players out there. But all I want, and I think Jimmy, you can agree with this, is I want to win. I want to win today. I'm not thinking of the future right now. This is the first time the Jets have been in this opportunity in December in a long, long time. Whoever gives us the best chance to win right now, I want them playing, and that seems to be
who
Mike
needs
White.
to play. Exactly. Then just to talk about this game, man. Like I am heartbroken as we all are, but man, what a hell of a game, right?
One of the best games.
For years as Jets fans.
Like that was the best Jets loss I've ever watched, if that makes sense.
20-3 at half or 20-6 at halftime. We get Greg the leg to come out there, hit a franchise record 60-yarder that would get us just a little bit of momentum. And then our defense, after that first half of just, poop in the bed, wake up, lock down. And then our offense, Mike White starts pushing the ball downfield, which, hey, I love Zach Wilson. He was our QB1 for a minute, but we weren't seeing that with him. And that's okay. Like that's not a knock on Wilson. It's just Mike White he has that effort, right? Mike effing White, baby. Like he's just gonna push it. Like, hey, this is my opportunity. He's trying to put himself out there to better his future odds. And it's like, that's what we want to see. We saw Garrett Wilson come alive, catching balls and just, dominating, being the dominant force. That dude's going to be a superstar. Corey Davis with that 4th and 10 grab. Like, I was sitting there and I was like, man, Corey Davis all year when we need that big catch. There's a couple times where he catches it, a couple times where he drops it, and he finally catches it and rips off a good run. And then everybody's crapping on Michael LaFleur, but we don't get to a close game without Michael LaFleur calling the plays that he's calling. And the players, just like the last caller said, executing. If we can just continue to execute and find a way to put together a full game, man, we're gonna make a good run into the playoffs, and everybody's gonna be happy. I'm just tired of hearing the Zach Wilson hatred. You don't have to put Zach Wilson down. You don't have to hate on Mike White. You don't have to hate on the players that plays for your team. Like if you're a Zach Wilson fan, my bad, brother. I'm on a rampage with this crap.
No, you're good. This is what this is for. Let it all out.
Yes, sir.
Like, no, I agree with pretty much everything you said.
If you're a Zach Wilson fan, that's fantastic. You're happy that he's 5-2. I'm just the type. I've been playing football my whole life, bro. I'm 32 years old, man. Like, like you're not going to win many games with your starting quarterback throwing, 180 yards. Just like we saw with Kirk Cousins, they shouldn't have won that game. He threw for 180 yards.
Yeah.
Like, and if Braxton Berrios, everybody's knocking Braxton Berrios for dropping the ball, like, yeah, as a wide receiver, you got to catch that shit. But at the end of the day, like, we had the opportunity to win the game, not just once, not just twice, 3 different times. And, like, it just didn't go our way. And, like, we could be upset. We could be disappointed and stuff like that. But, like, at the end of the day, man, the Jets were never doing this for the past decade.
And that's what I keep saying. That's my mantra for today, that people need to remember where we've been the past couple of seasons. And as bad as Mike LaFleur was at the goal line, you got to remember what he did to get us to the goal line. And I feel like that's a very fixable issue that we have. It's not one of those things that's like, oh my God, we're never going to be able to do this. Like, all he's got to do is, learn from these mistakes. Hey.
You ready? Come here, Kyle. Just real quick. You ready?
Let's do it.
J-E-T-S.
Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yes. Hey,
Let's go. Hey.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hell
Jets
yeah.
fans in the making. Let's go, Jets, buddy.
Yeah.
S, Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yeah.
Let's
You
go.
already know, baby.
Jimmy, I appreciate the call, my friend. Hope to see you again soon on the show.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good one. That was a great way. That was a great way to finish off the show. That was awesome. Johnny says 11-6 is still attainable. Go, Mike effing White. Yes, Johnny. The vision still is alive. 4-1 to finish off the season. We'll get us to 11-6. We'll see if that can happen. Johnny, I appreciate the $2 as always, my friend. Well, that was a great way to finish off the show. Jimmy, thanks for that great call. And of course, the adorable JETS chants at the end. So guys, everyone in the chat, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. All the love, all the hate, it's all well warranted. If you guys could do me a favor, hit that like button on your way out of the show. That's going to wrap up this edition of the Jets Media Show, and I appreciate all the love. We got a lot of things to talk about all week long, breaking down the Vikings and the Jets. We're going to break down the All-22 tomorrow. That's going to be very interesting. And then we're going to break down the Bills upcoming. So again, guys, I love you. Let's go Jets, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.